people. This is Mumble with Tissu, a podcast where I mumble in my room and try to have fun with what I feel. In this episode, we are going to talk about cakes. Cakes! Oh my god! And dead body ocean reefs. Tempting, right? Okay, let's go and let's begin. Cakes are literally the death of me. God, I would give anything to eat a dark chocolate salted caramel cake or a ooey gooey creamy Nutella cake right now. You know, I love cake. I love birthdays. I love birthday cakes. I love cakes. It's such a spiritual thing to me. Talking about birthday cakes, have you ever wondered where birthday cake came from? Do not say, I came from the oven, because I'm literally going to fold a bucket onto my head and walk into a wall. I'm asking, just truly think about it. The true origins of birthday cake. Does it have a Western origin? Does it have an Asian origin where they invented a whole hoopla in Asia? If you thought any of that, nah. It was from ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt. I know. Y'all don't have to shame me. I know so little about my fair share of history. But come on, ancient Greek. Ancient Egyptians invented celebrations of birthday. But let me tell you this. Back in the day, when the pharaohs were crowned, they became gods. So they considered their king, who were pharaohs, as god. So automatically, when the coronation happens, a god is being born. So they celebrated the birthday of the god. The coronation resembles a birth of a god. And they would bake moon-shaped cakes, as an honor for the moon goddess. It is actually really modern because these days people bake moon-shaped cakes. They would wear moon-shaped jewelries, It's such a fashion and so celestial and modern, but it has a very rich history. They would bake moon-shaped cakes. And fun fact, guess what they decorated it with? They decorated that cake with candles to make the cake glow, spark, and lit up like the moon. Oh my god. Did you ever think such a rich history? The birthday cake had such a rich history. If you imagine that, you're superhuman. But I just recently learned it. It is so wonderful. And now, talking about history, going back to my wonderful early days of cake, imagine this. My first cake that I remember was on my 3rd birthday. It was a Little Mermaid cake. For all of those who doesn't know who Little Mermaid is, she's a Disney princess. She's a mermaid. She had big lashes, red hair. She had a very nice seaweed, sort of a green mermaid tail. She looked so pretty. My cake was that. The red icing for the hair, the green icing for the tail, the rich buttercream frosting between the layers. Ooh, that taste just melts. I can remember that taste just melting in my mouth. Oh my god. actually, this is I told you, the cake is the death of me. I actually tried to dip my finger to the birthday cake, and I ended up dipping my finger to the candle when I was 3 years old. It was a whole chaos, but I still remember the taste of my third birthday cake, my Little Mermaid cake. Oh my god. I love so many types of cakes, but my favorite is a dark chocolate salted caramel cake. I never used to like that flavor, but one day I was like, why not try a new flavor? And oh my god, try the new flavor that was. After that, I stopped eating anything new from cake shops. If there was a dark chocolate salted caramel cake, I would buy that. It has like a rich dark chocolate batter for the cake and a ooey gooey texture of caramel inside. When you just dig your spoon to the cake slice, it takes you to another world. Oh my god. Well, I am an excellent eater. As you all know that I have been talking, mumbling about how I can eat cake. But I actually wanted to dive deep into an insight of a baker. So, I talked to my friend Oshadi, who actually has her own bakery. Guys, follow her on Instagram, Mumu Cakes and Bakes. She makes the most loveliest cakes, most beautiful. Her cakes are amazing. I got an insight from her, so I asked her a few questions. I asked her what she felt when she bakes cakes. So her response was that baking was the most exciting thing when it comes to her entire life. She said that whenever she craves anything, she would just take out the baking tools, whip up the batter, bake it, and she would satisfy her tummy. Oh my god. And she said that she loved to see people's faces overflood with joy and happiness when they take a bite of that cake piece. I know I am truly mumbling about cakes, but y'all just think about how happy you feel when you eat a piece of cake, when you see that birthday cake lit up on your table on your birthday. Oshadi also said she was truly inspired by her neighbor who didn't have children, and the neighbor used to bake all the time, and she was looking at it, she got the hang of it. Now she has her own business. Again, I'm going to just give a follow to Mumu Cakes and Bakes over at Instagram. You will not regret it. I also asked her what was the best cake that you ever baked. Okay, I want you all to picture this. A triple layer tall cake, 3 kilos that she couldn't even carry. The cake was vanilla cake with a touch of strawberry icing, with white chocolate ganache dripping down the cake, a butter cream frosting, and to top it off, she added 5 to 6 fresh white and pink roses, 4 macarons, and huge chocolate balls. And for the finale, for the shimmer, glimmer, and shine, she added edible gold dust. You got the vanilla, you got the frosting, you got the roses, you got the chocolate, you literally have heaven. That is heaven described in 1 3 kilo round tall triple layer circle. Oh my god. I could swallow anything around me right now because I just realized I made a huge mistakes by talking about cakes. It is literally 1:44 a.m. over here and I do not have any access to a cake shop. It is not open on any online platforms. So I'm going to move on right now. Again, guys, just follow Moo Cakes and Bakes, Oshadi's own bakery, and you will not regret it. I'm going to move on right now. You know, I was just thinking the other day, where do we go when we die? No one knows. No one has lived to tell the tale because, they're dead. Do we go to heaven? Do we go to hell? Or do we just float around? Or are we just reborn? I was just asking this question from my family, from my friends, and then I jumped on the internet and then I found something which is actually not related to where we go when we die. I came across this company called Eternal Reefs, where they cremate the ashes of the dead and make reefs, and they put it underwater as a growing reef. Oh my god. They would cremate the ashes of the passed away loved ones and create the reef, and the person who's been dead's legacy will live on, because now they're literally a part of nature, growing. And what happens is, in a reef there are so many algae, seaweed, and all sorts of moss, all sorts of marine organisms. They are literally growing after they are dead. They mix the cremated ashes with the cement and make a reef ball. So just imagine a tent which you take on camping, and it has holes, and the whole thing is made of cement. They drop it in the sea, and then it becomes fish houses where sea animals, fish, other marine organisms can live. It's just like ashes buried in the ground, but it creates a sustainable growth for the marine biology, the marine circle of life. There are fish houses, there are algae houses. It is so awesome. After you die, you just chill underwater. You just chill underwater. You may have rent problems with the fish, but you can figure it out, You can meet the mermaids. You can say, hey flounder, hey goldfish, hey shark, I'm already dead, so you can't kill me. Well, it's so awesome. It was such a nice concept to read about. You're literally underwater and you are growing. You're dead underwater and you're growing. Oh my god. I felt like we truly mumbled. Alright, mumblers. Ooh, I have great news to my lovely mumblers, that the audio content of this podcast is available on YouTube. Search for Mumble with Disu on YouTube and subscribe, like, and comment so I can see your thoughts, ideas, and your opinions on what and how and the things that I talk about. Find Mumble with Disu on Facebook, Instagram, and @Mumble with Disu on Twitter. You can find me anywhere. You can talk to me. Also, you can email me on mumblewithdisu@gmail.com. There will be another great news coming up. I will let you all know in the next segment. So, I hope we had a successful mumbling. Okay. Adios, everyone. Happy mumbling.